Yo, 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 of course, this is another episode of The Spot. We out here, of course, your host, Easy Yon, taking over for Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 6. Now, of course, from the previous episode, we know that Marvin gave the beats to Kanan. We're talking the beats. B-E-E-T-S, beats. And Rock explains that, like, look, I had to lie because it's my son. Gotta protect him. She didn't know what to do. And to be fair, as a mother in that moment, you wouldn't know what to do. So she tells Marvin that, and Marvin's like, yo, we just ditched him, threw him out in the middle of nowhere type shit, like, left him like trash, which is something that Lou didn't want. And the next scene, we got Kanan telling Jarita, like, look, the beatdown's nothing, it's no big deal, she got nothing to do with it. And she's still worried, of course, because she doesn't know the full extent of Kanan's, like, issues going on. But then Breeze, he's studying Afiz's movements. He's trying to figure out where's the opening, where can I get this guy? Because he's still technically funneling for Rock's operation. So if he takes her out, takes out Rock's operation. And next up, you got Garcia meeting with Agent Tanner of the Feds. When Garcia meets with Tanner, Tanner tells him that, look, Famous's file was handled by Captain Baptiste, who's a dirty cop. You gotta go ask him what happened. He's retired, but wasn't retired on his own volition. Now Garcia has a little red flag. He's like, okay, now let me go ask Baptiste, because if he's corrupt and handled Famous's file, then something had to have happened. So Juke confronts Kanan, and he admits that, yo, I did in fact kill Lou. And she calls him out for always blaming his mom for some bullshit, when she just straight up tells him, like, yo, you're at fault. Like, you're the one who's causing these problems. You need to stop blaming your mom. And she's low-key right. We as a viewer know that, but Kanan, he's a 17-year-old kid still figuring shit out. But Breeze tells Stefano that there's no opening to strike or go after Hafiz. But this is where Stefano's like, let's be diplomatic. Let's try to approach him respectfully and see what we can offer him. And Marvin straight up just busts in with a shotgun at Kanan's apartment where his crew's kicking it, but Kanan's not there. Marvin doesn't clip anyone, he just leaves, frustrated. But then Garcia confronts Baptiste at his party, and Baptiste is like, get the fuck out of here, man. This is my retirement bar. Who the fuck are you to approach me like that, And when Baptiste tells off Garcia like that, Garcia, he's still waiting. He's outside, and he's waiting for any detail he can get from Baptiste, but he's like, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm going back in my party and celebrating. And Breeze tells Kanan in the next scene to, like, yo, not let anyone test him, because, based on how he's looking, people are going to try to test Kanan and make him feel weak. And when Kanan pulls up on his crew, they're chilling in the back room of a store. They're all paranoid about when Marvin pulled up, on Kanan's spot with the shotgun. And in that moment, Crank is like, yo, you look really fucked up, man. We gotta let's take a step back, Kanan ain't having it, and he just kills Crank in front of everyone. It's like, yo, everyone better get to moving. Ain't nobody gonna be scared of my crew. And then we have Baptiste, who goes on a tirade about, like, how he didn't used to be dirty, but once you're dirty, it's hard to get out of that mode. And he mentions Snaps and Pops by government name, Ismail and Stephanie Henry. I probably got Stephanie wrong, I'm not sure. But Garcia instantly recognizes them as Snaps and Pops, which fascinates me because it means that they definitely had juice in the game like that. And Baptiste basically states it's because, like, they knew Famous was tied to Kanan, who was tied to Rock, and that's info Snaps and Pops wanted. Like, they really wanted all the information to get on Rock. Baptiste even mentions, like, it's tied to Howard, it's tied to Burke. This is just something Garcia does not want to dip his toes in. And at that point, Baptiste just later kills himself, finally calls it quits, and he puts his uniform on. And Afiz, Stefano, Breeze, and Kanan, they all meet and unite for, like, a quick connection. They all confirm that Afiz will now fund Stefano's, Breeze and Kanan's organization. And Marvin introduces Juke and Amber together, in case something happens to Marvin, which is definitely foreshadowing of what's gonna happen. And Amber makes mention of how the neighbor said they saw a black person leaving the house, and Amber told him she wasn't sure anymore if it was a white guy with tattoos. Shows Juke is definitely worried about this, but Marvin's just like, no worries, he's kind of waving it off. And then Kanan tells Breeze, like, yo, he's gonna do whatever he can to take down Rock's whole operation. And this man, Kanan, man, he's like Stefano. He does not like Rock. no matter what, like he does not like rock, and we pull a lot of beefs with our mothers and stuff, but this goes a whole new level, you know. Manhattan, Queens, two separate areas, but for some reason they can't get along. But Bree says he's got to be strategic. Can't be just attacking everyone and anyone for no reason, but Kanan says this is for a reason. There's purpose behind it. And Hafiz, he just tells Rock, like, look, I'm dropping you as a partner. I can't work with you because Stefano is now associated with them. And this kind of gets even more shaky for Rock because now she realized she just lost her plug. And at the next scene, I mean, Garcia turns the money back to Juke, saying, like, it's not for me. But at the same time, he does tell her it was Snaps and Pops who had Famous killed by NYPD. And Juke does ask for one more favor, which we definitely know is going to be some assuming with Amber situation and Marvin, just to verify if Marvin's being name dropped. But Jarita, this next scene was interesting. Jarita quits working with Flossie and immediately just walks out the door, leaving it unlocked. And it's kind of funny because, you know, Flossie probably would have heard it lock. As Kanan's down the hall, he's waiting to enter the room. And as he sneaks in with his gat, that's when Flossie catches him with a gun to his head. And the episode kind of just ends there. I mean, not after until like Rock and Marvin go clip one of Hafiz's men, but you don't know what's gonna happen, and so now you just know war's on the horizon. So at this point, really, you just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen. But at this point, yeah, circle back on the spot. We're gonna circle back and recap the entire season, of course, with all the participating and Mighty Young, of course, and myself. Y'all take care. Peace.